everyone, and welcome to the Case Study Showdown. My name is Oliver Giorgio, special correspondent for the Association Show. I hope you've been enjoying the show so far. This next segment, we're sharing the stage with 3 event tech providers who will have the opportunity to take a few minutes to tell you about their product or service and wow you with a real-life example of how one of their customers has used it to meet their event goals. Now, we want to keep the association show free of covert sales pitches, but we also know that you, just like I, love new tools. I turned this one into a microphone. So we created this special section where we actually want to give you the opportunity to learn about some of the new toys you may find useful. Once all 3 vendors have taken the stage, we're going to ask you to answer a poll question. Please wait until you're prompted to answer, as we'll be watching the results roll in live together. There will be no Q&A during this segment. However, you will have the opportunity to speak to each of the exhibitors directly in our interactive breakout rooms after the show. This segment is going to happen fast, so pay close attention. First up, we have Humphrey Chen, CEO of Clipper. Hello,
Great.
Humphrey. How are you doing?
Hey, Oliver. How's it going?
Yeah. Welcome to the Association Show. Let's get into it. Please describe what your company does in 10 words or less.
For event planners, we increase your content ROI and grow your community in between events.
That sounds fantastic. All right. And you are already sharing your screen. Fantastic. Go for the case study presentation.
All right, cool. Thanks, everyone. Great to have this opportunity to speak to you all. So, at Clipper, our operating premise is that not all minutes of video are created equally, nor is each minute equally relevant to everyone. So we use machine learning to index every minute of the video. We generate an automated table of contents. And if you only care about 5% of the content, then we want you to find that 5%. And if there's another 5% that you didn't know you need to know, then we want to give you the tools to find that other 5%. And so if you end up getting 10% extra engagement out of that recorded video, we view that as mission accomplished because it's 10% more than 0. And it also means that you avoided 90% of the rest of the video that wasn't necessarily as relevant. So whenever Clipper sees video, recorded video, we see trapped potential. And the way that Clipper unleashes that trapped potential is that we make recorded videos searchable, we make it personalized, we make it interactive, and we make it actionable. And so that can actually help you to grow your community and light up the long tail and be full 365. So let's take a case study here with Texi Talk. And so here in this example, imagine it's your on-demand content, but in this case, what we did with Liz was we made her sessions all searchable so people can find exactly what they want. So in this case, if you happen to have missed her session and you were curious about what topics were discussed about monetization, well, from amongst 20 hours of content from 9/28 to 29, we found that there were 4 moments where monetization was discovered and discussed. And so if you only cared about that, well, you could just watch those 4 moments through Clipper, bookmark them, share it with your friends, done. And so that's how we talk about lighting up that long tail, making the 24/7/365. So this is one aspect that we did with Texi Talk. Another thing that we did was personalization. And so in this case, in order to build your community, people like to have stuff personalized. And so the way that we do that is Liz happened to have this fun event around big heads and beats and virtual caricature with pumpkins and all sorts of fun things. And so if you actually wanted to hear, now that you've just heard about that and you wanted to review it, well, most people might not actually have 47 minutes of free time to actually watch that. And so what Clipper does is, hey, you go into the Clipper player, which is over here, you're seeing in the middle. I'll go back to that. But when you hit edit topic index, it then shows you the full table of contents stored within the video, which we've automatically generated for you, in this case for Texi Talk. And so if you only wanted to see the big head cartoon moment, then it actually would only be 7 minutes. And so you could see how we would allow you to just focus on exactly what you're looking for. And so for hunters who are looking for specific things, we want you to be able to hunt. But we also have tools to let you efficiently skim and skip and browse. One of the things that I'm going to draw your attention to is the right side here is the table of contents. This is also what we call smart skip. So within the different topics within the whole session, you could just skip to whichever session you want and just watch what you want. And it deals with the same way that there are hunters and there's like window shoppers. People like to learn and browse in different ways. So this is the second most popular feature. The third is actually analytics. And so in this case, when people are re-engaging with recorded video, wouldn't it be nice to know what is actually sticking, what people think is really popular, and where their focus is? Because that can actually affect what content you end up generating next time, because you no longer need to be doing a survey to figure out what people like or don't like. You can actually just analyze their viewing patterns. And so in this case, our basic analytics include topic clouds. It also shows like how people are reacting through emotion to specific moments within the video, whether it's a heart, whether it's a light bulb, whether it's a fire moment or a confusion moment. All of those things are actually really valuable information. And these are actually convertible into leads, which gets into the premium analytics side of the business. But this is what is the video intelligence part of Clipper. Now, in terms of the call to action, the one positive news I have to share with you is that we've made Clipper free. And so what that means is that you can tell us how many hours of video you would like Clipper to index for you from 2021, as well as what you'd like us to plan for in 2022. Now is the time to make reservations for how many hours you need. In the meantime, you can also go ahead and create your own Clipper account at clipper.ai. First 5 hours, of course, are free. But when you create your own account, you'll be able to actually also create your own Clipper team, where you can invite your own coworkers. But if you also prefer a more of a white glove approach, you can email to partnerships@clipper.ai to schedule one-on-one time with demos to actually experience it. And then, since Clipper is for all event planners, it's also for all companies. So we have another new thing that we're happy to share with you as well. All hands meetings are supported by Clipper for free as well. And so up to 4 hours for free every month, 50 hours of history. Be on the lookout for the Microsoft Teams Clipper launch. Thanks very much for your time. And hopefully I lit up some new capabilities for you, because this is a new tool in your toolbox. And a lot of people didn't even know this was possible. Now that you know that it's possible, I'd love to help you to build your community and increase your ROI on the content front as well.
Yeah, the amount of times I've wanted to find like 1 5-minute segment in like an hour-long video, this all sounds amazing. Thank you so much, Humphrey, for the amazing rundown on Clipper. And if you want to talk to Humphrey, he will be in the Tech Lounge after the show, so please do that. I'm curious to our attendees. What'd you think about it? Let me know in the chat right there on the right. And yes, don't forget that after today's show, you'll be able to talk to all of them in the breakout rooms. Okay, lovely. Up next, we have Gilbert Peffer, Analytics and Insights from Cubify.
Yeah.
Hello, Gilbert.
Hey, Oliver. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Welcome to the stage. Please tell us how you would describe Cubify in 10 words or less.
Right. So Cubify, in Cubify, we connect content, conversation, and community through knowledge sharing at events and also beyond the event. 13 words, sorry.
Sorry, you went over a little bit. It's all right. And I see your slides are already ready. So feel free to present, please.
Thank you, Oliver. So Cubify actually started out as a creative e-poster platform. What we noticed is that with time, our customers started using us in very different ways, in more ways than just for e-posters. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in the case study. So very quickly, how does it work? Well, speakers basically create rich collections of content that can then be shared, presented, discussed, either in-person events or online, or if you have a hybrid event, also of course in hybrid events. The content itself can remain accessible and also editable for the authors even after the event. That then depends on the association, whether they want to do that. I want to take a look now at a case study with ASHNE, which is an association of nurse educators, and how they've made good use of our platform in their 2020 and 2021 meetings. So in 2020, like most, or everybody actually, ASHNE had to change their meeting plans mid-course when the pandemic hit. Since the ePoster platform works both in person and online, forced move to virtual was actually not a problem for them. And for the delegates, the event was a great success. Then for the 2021 meeting, ASHNE decided to also move all the podium presentations to the ePoster platform. So they're not ePosters, but they are basically presentations with additional materials that the speakers could then add, and store the Zoom recordings from the keynotes and the plenaries, plus additional speaker materials on that platform as well. So as a result, not just the ASHNE's ePoster authors, but also the podium presenters and keynote speakers were able to share documents, videos, links, and other resources with delegates, which they wouldn't have been able to do before. So ASHNE now wants to continue growing this repository of educational content that they accumulated in 2020 and 2021. And they want to do that for the benefit not just of the current members, but also to attract new members to the associations. So you can see here on the slide, on the left-hand side is the ASHNE 2021 ePoster showcase, and they've done some other events shown here. In 2020, ASHNE ran into a problem with scheduled Zoom Q&A sessions because of the different time zones. So for some people, some of these sessions were in the middle of the night. I think everybody faced those problems. Then in 2021, ASHNE asked their ePoster authors to show what they called virtual office hours, something they introduced directly in the ePoster. You can see that on the slide on the bottom right. And for the authors also to give them the best time to contact them and the link to the Zoom meeting or Teams meeting or whatever the authors decided, whatever their preferred video conferencing link was. So all this led to greater engagement for the audience and also quality feedback for the authors. Okay, so hopefully I haven't run over too much. Many thanks for your patience. I'm really very happy to meet you later in the after show.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Gilbert, for sharing Cubify with us. We'll see you in the tech lounge after the show.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, now for our third and final tech exhibitor, please welcome Paul Hart from Sparkin. Hello, Paul.
Good day, everybody.
I love the hat.
Thank you.
Please describe Sparkin in 10 words or less.
Yeah, so Sparkin energizes team meetings and events by bringing in 15-minute storytellers.
Wow. Okay. 15-minute stories are the best kind of stories, but you've got a minute and a half. Go ahead and share your screen to present your case study.
Beautiful. All right, so I'm actually coming from the future. I'm in Australia. It's nearly 4:30 in the morning. So we're coming in live and hot. So bear with me. I thought I'd start off with a little bit of a party around Sparkin. So here we go. I promise this is the only GIFs that'll be in the presentation. Jumping in, Sparkin drops sparks from sparklers. And we also have fireworks too. So what are they? Sparkin is a culture as a service platform where we deliver 15-minute online experiences for team meetings and events, and they scale a lot. We've dropped, recently we dropped a 300-person event. We dropped Ulic, our amazing Turkish coffee reader, fortune coffee reader, into that meeting, and it was amazing. It went really well. And all our sparklers who deliver these meetings are, diverse, interesting, professional, fun hosts. And they can also scale from 15 minutes all the way up to 60 minutes. We've been going for about a year now. And yeah, we've been finding ourselves in all sorts of weird and wonderful, interesting situations where there's been breakout sessions that we've had mystery sparks just hiding in little breakout rooms to pounce on people and all of a sudden have them talking about whether hot dogs are a sandwich or not. So we're really flexible when it comes to your virtual meeting or event, and how you'd like to shape some intention or some goals that you have, and have a professional storyteller come in just for 15 minutes to brighten the mood, stimulate some creative thinking, get the people to actually connect around something that they weren't quite thinking was going to happen. Thank you, Kiki, for leading me into this nicely to spark some joy unexpectedly. This is something that, online in a virtual world these days, it's getting more difficult to do. So having someone come in from the left field and drop in unexpectedly is a nice way to do that. Ultimately, uplifting people, bringing them back to their attention and engaging them authentically, it has a knock-on effect. It elevates the productivity of the meeting or the event moving forward. And of course, we're all here behind a screen at the moment. We're looking for solutions that not only help us be better at working remotely, working virtually, but also that help us have a better time working remotely and working virtually. So that's where we think we fit. And so far, for the likes of Sony and Procter & Gamble and Whole Foods, we're finding ourselves working in with these great companies and doing fun and interesting things, talking to a manager and learning about how, what their meeting or what their event, whether it's big or small, working out how we can help bring some authentic connection back for their teams. The good news for us and for you is we're vendor agnostic. We're a circus of storytellers that will come to you and will come to your meeting and event. We're malleable, we're flexible. We just need to learn your event platform potentially. But there's nothing too untoward. It's one of those, we just need to join your Zoom session for those breakout rooms, or you might be using Microsoft Teams for your smaller meetings, or Google Meet, or as we are today, we're using Eventmobi, which is the slickest interface I've seen so far. It's like a production here, so that's really cool. So we can join your meetings and events without any issue. Just to jump forward and through some of our circles, we have 16 sparklers. We're soon to go to 20. We're adding more people now as we go along. We have 6-time Paralympian Stephen. We have Teresa, who does a great mindful meditation. We have David, who's a mentalist who will, in 15 minutes, blow your mind with what he can do. We've got Justin, who's an amazing shark scientist out of South Africa that takes you through a walk with sharks, a swim with sharks. Keep bouncing through. I won't explain everybody, just jump on our website and have a look. We've got Ari, who does an amazing Brooklyn street artist tour, and with your team or with your event, helps everyone, get together and write their tag. We've got Daniele, who's an amazing Roman, a literal Roman, who will sit there and talk to your team about singing folk songs from Italy and just sitting back and letting that wash over you. We've got Rosa, who's a Norwegian astrophysicist, who will talk to your team about black holes, and Nick, who's our chief happiness officer, who will talk to you about using sign language and incorporating that and connecting with your team. So some really fun things there. So well, I'm not here to keep you long. If you've got any ideas percolating on the sort of association that within your association, the meetings that you're running or the events that you're running, reach out to us. We'd love to chat. Thank you.
All right, that sounds great. It's a great way to get people to think outside of the box, it sounds like. So thank you so much, Paul, for sharing Sparkin with us. I will see you after the show in the tech lab.
Cheers.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. Now you've had the chance to listen to all 3 of our vendors. It's time for our poll questions, but don't answer quite yet. I want to make sure everyone knows where to find it. If you're watching from a laptop or desktop, you'll see it to the right of this broadcast next to the chat. There's poll questions there. If you do not see it, please refresh your browsers now. A 1, a 2, a 3. Okay, ready? Now you can answer multiple answers if you'd like. Answer now. Which exhibitor would you like to see your association use in the future? Go! All right. Got them up. Oh, Clipper is clipping ahead of the rest of them, but Sparkin is pulling up fast, locomotive style. Cubify is it's a cube in the back there. It's got 25%. Come on, Clipper. Clipper's awesome. There's just so much you can do with it. Kiki L'Italien has already experienced Clipper. Oh, Sparkin is pulling ahead. Could it keep up with Clipper's horse pace? Who knows? Cubify, come on. Assimilate us. Do it. Oh, okay. Clipper and Sparkin are neck and neck. They are Cubify may be the winner for me. I know a number of associations, the unwritten rules that all session proposals must be accepted. That's from Joe Floyd. Does that? Oh, Sparkin is pulling ahead. Oh my goodness. Oh, combustion is happening here. Oh, sparks are flying. Oh, Sparkin is pulling way ahead. Clipper, come on. Pull up that horse pace one more time. Nothing. Sparkin is flying ahead. They're at 50%. They're getting 50% of the vote. Is that it? Is that the end of the voting? Can we do it? I think Sparkin is the winner. I think Sparkin has won this one. Oh, goodness. Whew. Well, we're going to have some fireworks tonight.